This is Nearly Free, a Grace Ford FBI suspense thriller, Book 3, written by Molly Black and read by Caroline. Prologue. The thrumming of the engine filled the air and shook the deck below Carl Newbury's booted feet. He was out in the open air, late at night, on this transport barge. With a container cargo of chemicals being transported up north, smoking on deck was forbidden. But it was impossible in the tiny break room with the rest of the crew being non-smokers. What kind of bad luck was that? It was made more difficult because they were the old team who'd all worked together in the past, and he was the new boy, and he didn't think they liked him much. That was why he had snuck out in the dark, to inhale an illicit cigarette. It wasn't like the whole boat was going to explode if he had one smoke. Right at the back, near the rear staircase and hiding out behind one of the containers. Because some rules, those that were plain ridiculous, were made to be broken. He drew deeply, enjoying the flavor, taking the smoke all the way into his lungs. After all, he had to make the most of it. From here, it would be back down to his cramped living quarters, where he'd be able to curl up in his bunk and send some messages to friends and warm up again as best he could in the chilly living space. He pulled his woolen cap down. Its protection was meager, and his hair was very short. He'd buzz-cut it, which in retrospect was a bad decision. His head felt like it was bleeding heat away. It was very dark up here, and icy cold, getting colder as the boat chugged north. It was a moonless winter night. The evening view, before the weak winter sun had set an hour earlier, had been of grey, bleak fields stretching out to the horizon. Just fields. The emptiness was unsettling. There was a sense of threat about it, which was compounded by the crew's surly attitude, although that could be because they were a man short for a while. One crew member had left in a hurry a few hours ago. Carl didn't know why, but he'd looked stressed as he had rushed off to disembark. The last stopping point, a couple of hours ago, just before it had gotten dark, felt like a very long time ago. He looked for lights on the horizon, but there were none to be seen, and the big, dark bulk of the containers blocked the view ahead. It felt creepy up here. He wished he wasn't a nicotine addict, because the need to have this cigarette was taking him all the way out of his comfort zone. And now, there was another sound, a strange rolling, crackling noise that sounded as if the cargo was shifting or moving. Was something loose up here? If it was, how was he going to report it without admitting he'd come up on deck? If he said he'd been here at this hour, they'd all know why. He'd be in trouble because of his smoking habit. And then, suddenly, he picked up another sound, precise and unmistakable. Firm, authoritative footsteps were treading on the steel stairs that led up to the deck.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?